Welcome to your home garage, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change your 3-season tires to winter tires, along with a couple of tips that will make your experience just that much better. So the first thing you're going to want to start off with is organizing your tools. And really, to change over your winter tires, you don't need a lot. So let's take a closer look here. I've got my breaker bar here already pre-fitted with my 7/8 socket. Torque wrench, again 7/8 socket on there as well, just in case you have any locking wheel nuts. You want to make sure you've got the key ready to go. I've got an air pump with an air tire gauge on there, a couple of jack stands because I'm going to be doing 2 tires at the same time, a couple of wheel chocks, of course my floor jack, and tape and marker, so we've got the proper rotation happening for next year. And I'm just going to show you a quick little hint and tip that I've been doing for the last couple of years to help with rust control, especially with the winter rims where you get that salt and debris on the inside. And because it's winter time, it's harder to do a maintenance wash and that salt just sits there. And you might notice with your winter rims, they tend to rust on the inside a little bit. So we're just going to coat it just for a little bit of extra protection. As part of the preparation, what you want to make sure is that your vehicle is actually on level ground before you go ahead and start jacking it up. And let's also engage the parking brake for added safety. And because I'm going to go ahead and do 2 tires at the same time, I'm just going to go ahead and chalk off both back tires. And a really important step that you don't want to overlook is that you always want to double check the sidewall of the tire to ensure if they are directional tires or not. This particular set is, so the direction of the arrow would indicate which side of the vehicle this tire must be installed. Now this isn't the set that's going on the Honda Odyssey, but if it were, I would just want to ensure that I have the tire rotating in the right direction and on the correct side of the vehicle. Based on this arrow, this would be a driver's side tire. So you want to start off by loosening the lug nuts while the vehicle is stable and on the ground. This way you can actually apply the proper force without any concern of the vehicle actually slipping off the jack stands. So with that loose, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So now with both front tires loose, it's time for the jack stands and the floor jack. Now the jack stands are just going to go right behind the front wheels where the pinch welds are. And the floor jack is going to lift up the whole entire front end of the vehicle right on the cross member. So I'm going to show you exactly where that is on this Honda Odyssey. So from the underside of your vehicle, you'll notice right in the dead center is this tow hook, and it's actually attached to this cross member. And it's actually the appropriate spot for this Honda Odyssey to jack up the entire front end of the vehicle at the same time. So it's incredibly solid here, and here's the cross member. And there's one located at the back as well. And when we get to the back tires, I'll show you exactly where that is. And right here, just behind the front tire, is your pinch weld. It's a thicker piece of metal. So let's go ahead and put our floor jack right there. And I'll just go ahead and put the other side on, and then we'll lower it down. So now that I've got the jack stands directly under the pinch weld, another safety precaution that I like to take is to actually leave the floor jack attached to the cross member. Like, now there's not a lot of pressure there whatsoever. It's still just touching it, but just in case the floor jacks were to fail for whatever reason, at least I've got a backup holding up the vehicle. And for added safety, it's never a bad practice to go and actually just shake the vehicle ever so slightly. You're not putting all your weight into it because you just want to make sure that the vehicle is stable. So go ahead and give it a good shake. Now with the vehicle secure, let's go ahead and remove the tire. And what you'll also notice is I'll take the tire, because you can never have enough safety precautions, and I'll actually put it under the vehicle as well, just as another fail-safe. So as a helpful tip, what you're going to want to do with the tape and the marker is mark the position of this tire for next spring as you properly rotate them. So this particular tire, since it came off the front, it's now going to go to the rear and it's going to stay on the driver's side, which is the left side. I'm going to do the exact same thing on with the other tire, but I will remove this tape and put it on the inside of the rim when I'm done and it's not used as a safety precaution. And just another tip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and coat the inside of these rims with Krown Rust Control. And what it's going to do is it's going to help with the salt and debris that sits on the inside of the rim that you just can't get to during a maintenance wash in the wintertime. Now, because the tires are conveniently off the vehicle, I like to go ahead and actually check the tire pressure right now, just so there's no surprises when I actually lower the vehicle on the tires. And if you're unsure where to actually find the tire pressure on your vehicle, it should be right inside the door jamb, similar to this Honda Odyssey. So if I look at this sticker, the front should be at 33 PSI and the rear should be at 35 PSI. And it's not a bad practice as well just to go ahead and put an extra pound of air in there, because the cold weather will play a little bit of havoc on that tire pressure. So a little bit more wouldn't be a bad thing. So with both front tires set to exactly 34 pounds per square inch, let's go ahead and install the tire. Just as a helpful hint, you're going to want to just hand tighten each one of these lug nuts. So now with the tires in position, we could go ahead and lower the vehicle and then finish off the tightening process with the torque wrench. Now that we've got the vehicle safely on the ground, we're going to want to go ahead and torque down these lug nuts to spec. Now the spec on this vehicle is 80 foot-pounds, so I already have my torque wrench set to that. And you're going to want to go in a star pattern as well, just to make sure that you've got even pressure on the wheel. And it's not a bad idea to just do it one more time. There we go. I'll go ahead and do the other side. So now that the front is complete, let's go ahead and do the exact same thing on the back. So with the winter tires on, I'm just going to head on out for a quick drive and then check the torque once again when I get back, just for safety. And now you could tackle your winter tire change in the convenience of your own home garage. And hopefully you found this video beneficial. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Of course, share it with a friend and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you next time on your home garage.